do you think that India has massively underachieved considering our numbers? India's massively underachieved at the Olympics, or do you think that, India's woken up to the Olympics too late?
Not only the Olympic Games, India has now woken up to sport. They realize the position of sport internationally. And for them, the Olympic Games now, because of the hype of the Olympic Games, is such that they are taking a lot of interest in training for the Olympic Games. And mind you, our sportsmen are doing extremely well to be able to get into a position of winning medals also. So now, it's a catch-22 situation. They're doing well and they're getting benefit, and the government is also interested in seeing that they do well. The federations, everyone is taking more interest. The Olympic movement is, even in the Indian Olympic Association, everyone is geared up to see that India is not just participating, but winning a medal. Earlier, a lot of people went just participate. They were not there to, win a medal. And so many times I saw my colleagues, for them it was enough. They had qualified for the Olympic Games. That's it. It helped them in their job. It helped them in their lives. There were some of us who were struggling to try and win a medal, and we were not getting anywhere close to the medal. So, but now, the government of India is definitely, it's not like you're running around buying ammunition or having Devi Chand stitch your blazer and get a tie and pay for it and then get to these games. No, now everything is being done, looked after, your training is done. Manav, they're the present generation shooter. He will tell you the amount of money that is spent on shooting today vis-a-vis in our time, and also the fact that they are training abroad and competing with the best people. So when it happens, when you go and compete with the best people in the world all the time, you have that much more confidence in you, confidence with yourself. And, if you look good, you dress well, you've got the best guns, you have the best training, you have the world's best coaches helping you, obviously you're on par with anybody else. So if you're strong enough and it's your day, you win the Olympic gold medal. But if you're not, and that is possible with the government help that's coming.
When you look over the course of your career, when you started out, you still had the likes of your father and Mr. Randhir Singh shooting, but you've also seen this sort of evolution from being a participant to being a contender. Do you think that ultimately it boils down to 2 or 3 performances which have sort of given belief to the sports person of this country as well? One could be Leander Pace's medal in 1996, which sort of, ended that individual jinx which stretched from 52, where Mr. Singh was there and KD Jadhav won a medal in Helsinki in wrestling. And then the other one was where you were there with me in Beijing, where Abhinav Bindra won the gold. Like, these 2 performances sort of not just gave belief to the sports persons who were competing at the time like you, it also sort of inspired a new generation, which is now which was getting ready for these Olympics.
Yeah, absolutely, Digvijay. Sports is about momentum. Especially winning at the Olympics, the momentum has to be so large. And the momentum is driven by the government, it's driven by the public, it's driven by the sports persons. But the driver sometimes can be a singular individual achievement. Like you mentioned too, I'm convinced that these 2 achievements, not only did they inspire athletes, which they obviously did, they inspired tennis players and they inspired shooters and then beyond, but they also inspired the government. You see, at the end of the day, the system must see results. When you talk about Olympics, at the end of the day, it's about results. The sports is about result. Either you win or you don't. So the fact that when you win, it gives you a sort of positive reason to go ahead with further support. So not only are these events, and like you mentioned, I was there when Sir and my dad were shooting, and I have been part of that transition from an amateur event to a highly professional setup that the Indian sports is now. And not only shooting, because like you said, we have friends from across the sporting world, and I can see that not only in shooting but in other sports in India, we were at one stage going to the Olympic Games as tourists, wanting, but it looked like such a miracle, like some god would have taken a personal interest if he were to win an Olympic medal. But I've seen that transition where now the sports person goes there with a sense of purpose to achieve a goal which seems to him within his reach. And all of this has been driven by individual performances, which have motivated the youth, motivated the public, and very importantly, it has motivated our government, because sports is driven largely by government policy.